Ilyse. I met her through the Sanctuary Spa. Ilyse was working as one of Morgana's staff members. She was a teacher of Qigong, which is a Chinese art that kind of implements breathing and self-mastery. A lot of people describe it as kind of resembling Tai Chi. The town of Lansdale held a yearly event called Lansdale Day, where a bunch of the businesses set up booths in kind of like a town fair sort of setup. While I was there, I spoke to other businesses that were represented at the fair, but I also talked to a lot of Morgana's other teachers and her staff. And one who really struck my attention was Ilyse. So I invited her to come in the next day and perform a screen test.
If I ruled the world, I wouldn't feel like I was about to explode right now. My anxiety wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't feel so trapped in my own self, wouldn't feel like I was a part of the programming that we've all been born into, that our parents have been born into. If I ruled the world, everyone would be happy. I would be free, finally be free of this weight, this thing inside of me that just keeps holding me back, that makes me feel like I'm 5 years old all the time. That makes me resist being happy. If I ruled the world, I'd be able to let go of the fear of being who I am, and not having to be who I think someone needs me to be.
Okay, Ilyse's audition really captivated me, and here's why. She was nervous, and she admitted she was nervous, but what she did in the middle of that game was that she recentered herself and showed me something very rare, and that was vulnerability. I felt people who were watching her and watching her story would be able to relate to her. For Ilyse, just getting in front of the camera and teaching and being herself was an act of courage, and that was inspiring to me. Once Ilyse agreed to be a part of my cast, I breathed a sigh of relief. We were 3 cast members in, and technically I could do this show now with only 1 or 2 more cast members remaining. Now, I have a confession to make. At the time of this recording that I am placing right now, we are already about 5 or 6 weeks into the quest, which means we're more than halfway there. Now, I'm not going to give anything away, but watching Ilyse's audition right now sends chills up my spine. It's eerie. Ilyse didn't know it at the time, but she was about to turn into one of the more fascinating quote-unquote characters in this show. When she signed on to do this, she had the understanding that her life was going to be changed, and it did. We hadn't pinned down her quest yet, but the character arc she was about to go through is something I believe every woman would relate to. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so I was already convinced I wanted Ilyse to be a part of the cast. Now all we had to do was come up with her quest. What I was about to learn was that a specific quest can sometimes be difficult to come by.
My quest? My quest is to really come out of my shell, basically. I tend to do this, sometimes physically and mostly emotionally, and just not let go of, feeling embarrassed about whatever. It's, we're all living this life, we're all having this experience on this planet. It's, we only remember this one time that we're having, whether or not we have multiple experiences. But, just to let go and just to listen more and not be so, be self-centered, but also come out of myself and be able to be a fully functioning person that can help others more fully.
Okay, maybe this is the guy in me coming through, but at this moment, we didn't have a concrete plot yet with Ilyse, and that unnerved me a little bit. There was definitely a very worthwhile goal there. There was definitely a worthwhile outcome, but how do you measure that? How do you tangibly measure that goal? And I still needed a little bit more of a plot, but that would reveal itself in a later episode. Now, if this premiere episode is about my finding the cast, I was now in the phase that I call the desert, where the hero in this story, and not that I'm saying I'm a hero, but the protagonist in the story has got to develop new set of skills, develop patience. And I was working really hard to find my cast, and I didn't know where to go next. So I tried something that I never thought I'd do. I posted a Craigslist ad. This portion of Destiny 5 is brought to you by the Sanctuary Spa. Only the experience matters. And by Destiny5.net. Write your destiny, direct your emotions, star in your own story.